Have you ever wondered why narcissists seem to target you? It might feel like no matter where you go, there's always that one person who seems to gravitate toward you, someone who drains your energy, manipulates your emotions, or constantly makes you question yourself. These narcissists could be anyone, family, friends, or even colleagues. But why you? Why are you, of all people, the one they seem to single out for their toxic behaviors? It's a question that many of us have asked at some point, yet finding the answer isn't always straightforward. Narcissists don't just randomly target people. There's a reason why they specifically go after certain individuals, and chances are you may be one of those individuals. In this video, we're going to dive deep into understanding why narcissists are so drawn to you. More importantly, we'll explore why you, as the chosen one, often find yourself at the center of their manipulative tactics. The term "the chosen one" might sound dramatic, but when it comes to narcissists, it's a fitting description. Narcissists tend to prey on people who they perceive as having something special, whether it's an inherent kindness, emotional depth, or a strong sense of self. These traits are often the very qualities that make you stand out, and, unfortunately, the very traits that narcissists seek to exploit. Understanding this dynamic is the first step toward breaking free from their grasp and reclaiming control of your life. Narcissists thrive on control. They seek out individuals who are empathic, who have the capacity to care deeply for others. But they also target those who have the potential to challenge their need for validation, those who might question their superiority or their behavior. For narcissists, it's not about love or mutual respect. It's about finding someone they can dominate, someone they can manipulate to build their own fragile sense of self-worth. And once they find you, their tactics often include manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional abuse, all designed to make you feel smaller, less important, and ultimately, more dependent on them. But here's the important thing: you are not powerless. Recognizing that you are the chosen one in the eyes of a narcissist is empowering. It means that you possess qualities that are valuable, not just to others, but to yourself. It also means you have the ability to protect those qualities from being exploited. Understanding why narcissists target people like you is key to protecting yourself and setting boundaries that allow you to live a healthier, more balanced life. If you're interested in exploring more about how to spot toxic relationships, how to protect your emotional well-being, and how to create stronger, healthier connections with the people around you, this channel is here to help. We delve into personal growth, emotional intelligence, and practical strategies for navigating life's toughest challenges, including how to handle narcissists and other toxic personalities. If these are topics that resonate with you, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That way, you'll never miss any of our helpful videos that are designed to help you take control of your life and relationships. So, if you're ready to uncover the truth behind why narcissists seem to target you and what you can do about it, keep watching. And remember, every time you like, share, and subscribe, you're not only supporting this channel, but you're also taking the first step toward protecting yourself from those who seek to manipulate or harm you. Let's dive into the video and find out exactly why narcissists target you. The chosen one. To begin with the video, what is narcissism? Narcissism is a psychological term that describes a pattern of behaviors, thoughts, and emotions that revolve around an inflated sense of self-importance and a constant need for admiration. At its core, narcissism refers to a person's excessive preoccupation with themselves and a profound lack of empathy for others. The term narcissism is often used in both clinical and everyday contexts, but it is important to understand its true meaning and implications. While many people might exhibit occasional narcissistic traits, narcissism becomes problematic when it defines the individual's character and negatively impacts their relationships and interactions with others. The concept of narcissism originates from Greek mythology, particularly the story of Narcissus, a young man who became so entranced by his own reflection in a pool of water that he could not pull himself away. His obsession with his image ultimately led to his demise. This myth serves as a metaphor for modern-day narcissism, where individuals become so absorbed in their own self-image and desires that they lose sight of others around them. Today, narcissism is recognized as a personality trait, and when it is taken to an extreme, it can become a personality disorder, known as narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. People with narcissistic tendencies tend to view themselves as superior to others and believe that they are entitled to special treatment. They often seek admiration and validation from the people around them, and their self-esteem is fragile, relying heavily on external praise and attention. When they do not receive the validation they crave, narcissists may become angry, manipulative, or vindictive. At the heart of narcissism lies a deep insecurity, but it is masked by a facade of confidence and arrogance. To better understand narcissism, it is important to go over some of the basic traits commonly found in narcissists. These traits are what make narcissism harmful to those around them and provide insight into why narcissists target certain individuals. One of the hallmark traits of narcissism is self-importance. Narcissists often perceive themselves as exceptional and unique, believing that they deserve special treatment and admiration. They may exaggerate their accomplishments, talents, or experiences to make others believe they are more significant than they truly are. This inflated sense of self-importance can manifest in various ways, such as demanding attention in social settings, expecting others to cater to their needs, or acting as though their opinions are the only ones that matter. Narcissists often struggle with criticism because it threatens their carefully constructed sense of superiority. Another defining trait of narcissism is the lack of empathy. Narcissists have difficulty understanding or caring about the emotions and needs of others. They may dismiss, belittle, or disregard the feelings of those around them, viewing others as tools to serve their own desires. This lack of empathy is one of the reasons narcissists often exploit people in their lives, using them for personal gain, without any regard for the harm they may cause. Narcissists may appear charming and charismatic at first, but as their relationships progress, their lack of empathy becomes more evident. They may fail to recognize or acknowledge the hurt they inflict on others, and when confronted about their actions, they often become defensive or blame others for their problems. The constant need for attention is another characteristic that sets narcissists apart. Narcissists crave admiration and validation from others to feed their fragile self-esteem. They are constantly seeking external affirmation to reinforce their self-worth. This need for attention can be all-consuming, leading narcissists to engage in dramatic behaviors or seek out environments where they can be the center of attention. They may monopolize conversations, boast about their achievements, or engage in attention-seeking behavior to ensure that others are constantly focused on them. If they do not receive the attention they expect, narcissists may become frustrated, agitated, or even retaliatory. These traits, self-importance, lack of empathy, and the need for attention, combine to create a person who is difficult to be around and whose behavior can be damaging to others. Narcissists are often skilled at manipulation, using charm, flattery, and deceit to get what they want. They may target individuals who are empathetic, kind, and nurturing, seeing them as easy targets for exploitation. Empaths, for instance, are often drawn to narcissists because they want to help or fix them. But this desire to help is precisely what the narcissist will take advantage of. Narcissists may make promises they never intend to keep, manipulate emotions to control others, and gaslight their victims into doubting their own perceptions of reality. Narcissists harm others in several ways, and the impact of their behavior can be profound. One of the most damaging effects of narcissism is emotional abuse. Narcissists often use gaslighting, guilt-tripping, and emotional manipulation to undermine their victims' confidence and sense of self-worth. Gaslighting is a tactic in which the narcissist makes their victim doubt their own memories, perceptions, and even sanity. They may deny things they have said or done, twist the truth, or accuse the victim of being overly sensitive or irrational. Over time, this constant manipulation can leave the victim feeling confused, isolated, and emotionally drained. Another way narcissists harm others is by isolating their victims. Narcissists often seek to control the relationships their victims have with friends, family, and other loved ones. They may belittle these people, plant seeds of doubt about their intentions, or accuse the victim of being disloyal. By isolating their target from their support network, narcissists make it easier for them to maintain control and power over the victim. This can lead to the victim becoming dependent on the narcissist for validation and emotional support, further entrenching the narcissist's hold over them. Narcissists also have a tendency to exploit others for their own benefit. Whether it is financial gain, social status, or simply having someone to boost their ego, narcissists will often use people as tools to fulfill their own desires. They may take credit for the work of others, use people to further their own career, or manipulate relationships for personal gain. This exploitation is often hidden behind a facade of generosity or kindness, making it difficult for the victim to recognize the manipulation until it is too late. Finally, narcissists are prone to creating toxic environments wherever they go. Whether in personal relationships or work settings, their need for control, constant attention, and lack of empathy can create an atmosphere of tension, insecurity, and fear. People around narcissists often feel like they are walking on eggshells, constantly trying to avoid triggering the narcissist's anger or displeasure. This creates a hostile environment where the narcissist's behavior is tolerated and others are left to endure emotional or psychological abuse. In conclusion, narcissism is a personality trait defined by self-importance, a lack of empathy, and a constant need for attention. These traits not only make narcissists difficult to be around, but also harm those in their lives. Narcissists use manipulation, emotional abuse, and exploitation to control others and fulfill their own needs. The impact of narcissistic behavior can be devastating, leading to emotional trauma, isolation, and long-term damage to relationships. Understanding the core traits of narcissism is essential for recognizing when you are dealing with a narcissist and taking steps to protect yourself from their toxic influence. As we've seen in Section 1, narcissism is a personality trait that thrives on control, manipulation, and the need for admiration. Narcissists target individuals who they perceive as having something special, something that they can exploit for their own purposes. These people are often referred to as the chosen one because they possess qualities that make them stand out, whether it be their empathy, their strength, or their sense of purpose. While being chosen might sound like a privilege, it can often lead to exploitation and harm, particularly when narcissists are involved. When we talk about the chosen one mentality, we're referring to people who feel like they are uniquely destined for something important in life. They believe they have a purpose or a mission, whether that's to make a significant impact in the world, achieve great things, or fulfill a higher calling. This mentality can stem from a deep sense of self-worth, a drive to make a difference, or even a spiritual belief that they have been chosen for a particular role. These individuals are often highly empathetic, caring deeply for others, and willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. They tend to be idealistic and see themselves as separate from the rest of the world, believing that they are destined for something greater. This sense of being special, of being chosen, is what makes them vulnerable to narcissists. Narcissists, by their very nature, are drawn to people who stand out, who have qualities that they can exploit. The chosen one mentality, while empowering on the surface, can make individuals more susceptible to narcissists because of the way it shapes their perception of themselves and their relationships with others. Narcissists can sense this sense of uniqueness and take advantage of it to control and manipulate these individuals for their own benefit. People with the chosen one mentality often feel different from others, believing they are meant for something greater or that they have a unique purpose. This feeling of being special can sometimes isolate them from the rest of society. They may feel misunderstood or like they don't quite belong in the typical social structures. This sense of alienation can make them crave validation and connection, and narcissists are quick to recognize this need. Narcissists thrive on individuals who are emotionally vulnerable and seek external validation. They are masters at recognizing when someone feels isolated or different, and they use this vulnerability to their advantage. When someone with the chosen one mentality encounters a narcissist, the narcissist will often use flattery and charm to draw them in. They will tell them how special they are, how unique their perspective is, and how they are destined for greatness. At first, this attention feels validating for the individual, especially if they've been feeling misunderstood or alone. The narcissist will reinforce their sense of importance, making them believe that they are deserving of admiration and special treatment. However, the narcissist's praise is not genuine. It is part of a strategy to make the individual feel dependent on them. Over time, the narcissist will use this sense of validation to control the person, manipulating their emotions and decisions. The connection between feeling special and being targeted by narcissists lies in the inherent vulnerability of those who believe they are different or chosen. When someone sees themselves as special, they are more likely to let their guard down and trust others, especially those who show them attention and admiration. Narcissists prey on this trust, using it to their advantage to gain power and control. They will often mirror the individual's values and beliefs, presenting themselves as someone who understands their mission or purpose. This creates a false sense of camaraderie and trust, making it easier for the narcissist to insert themselves into the individual's life. Moreover, people with the chosen one mentality tend to be more self-sacrificial. They are often willing to go above and beyond to help others, to make a difference, or to fulfill their perceived purpose. Narcissists recognize this trait and exploit it for their own gain. They will encourage the individual to prioritize the narcissist's needs and desires over their own, reinforcing the belief that this sacrifice is necessary for their higher purpose. This dynamic creates a dangerous cycle, where the individual becomes increasingly dependent on the narcissist, while the narcissist continues to extract emotional energy, time, and resources from them. The idea of being chosen also plays into the narcissist's need for superiority. Narcissists view themselves as being above others and often seek out individuals who they can elevate or use as tools to maintain their sense of power. In this sense, they will target those who feel unique or special because it gives them the opportunity to exploit that belief for their own benefit. Narcissists may use phrases like, "You're different from everyone else," or "You're destined for greatness," which reinforces the individual's perception that they are exceptional. The narcissist then becomes a key figure in the individual's life, providing validation and guidance, but ultimately using that position of power to manipulate and control. The chosen one mentality can also lead to a heightened sense of guilt when individuals with this mindset try to break away from toxic relationships, including those with narcissists. They may feel as though they are betraying their sense of purpose or abandoning their mission by walking away. Narcissists are adept at exploiting this guilt, making the individual feel as though they are failing in their higher calling by rejecting the narcissist. This emotional manipulation can be particularly damaging, as it keeps the person trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and dependence on the narcissist. The connection between feeling special and being targeted by narcissists is not just about vulnerability. It also involves a deep emotional need for connection, recognition, and understanding. Narcissists know how to prey on these emotional needs, offering false connections that feel like they align with the individual's sense of purpose. However, the narcissist's true intentions are to maintain control and gain personal benefits. They do not truly care about the individual's well-being or their sense of purpose. They care only about how they can use that individual to enhance their own sense of power and superiority. In summary, the chosen one mentality, while it may seem like a source of strength, actually leaves individuals vulnerable to narcissists. The feeling of being unique or special makes people more susceptible to manipulation because it fosters a deep emotional need for validation and connection. Narcissists are experts at identifying this vulnerability and using it to their advantage. By making the individual feel important and needed, narcissists gain the trust and dependence of the person, ultimately using their sense of purpose and specialness as a tool for control. The emotional manipulation that follows can leave individuals trapped in toxic relationships where their own sense of self-worth is continually undermined in favor of the narcissist's needs. Recognizing this dynamic is the first step toward breaking free and reclaiming control over your life. As we transition into the next section, we'll explore how narcissists specifically target empaths, those who are often drawn to the idea of helping others and fulfilling their higher purpose. We'll examine how narcissists exploit their emotional sensitivity and why these individuals are particularly vulnerable to narcissistic manipulation. In the previous section, we explored how the chosen one mentality makes certain individuals more vulnerable to narcissists. These individuals, who often feel special or destined for a greater purpose, are ripe for manipulation because of their deep emotional sensitivity and need for validation. Now let's delve into a specific group of people who are particularly susceptible to narcissists: empaths. These are individuals who can deeply feel and understand the emotions of others, often to the point of taking on the emotional pain of those around them. Empaths have an innate ability to empathize with others, which makes them compassionate, caring, and deeply attuned to the feelings of the people in their lives. However, this emotional sensitivity, while a beautiful trait, is also what makes them prime targets for narcissists. An empath is someone who not only feels their own emotions, but also has the ability to pick up on and mirror the emotions of others. They are highly sensitive to the energy and emotions around them, and they tend to be deeply compassionate. Empaths are often drawn to helping others, providing support, and offering comfort to those in need. They may feel a strong desire to heal emotional wounds, ease suffering, and create positive changes in the world. Because of this deep emotional awareness and compassion, empaths are often viewed as givers in relationships, pouring their energy into others without expecting much in return. While this can lead to fulfilling and meaningful relationships, it can also leave them vulnerable to exploitation. Narcissists, on the other hand, are driven by a need for validation and control. They thrive on admiration and require constant attention from others to feel good about themselves. Narcissists have a profound lack of empathy and cannot genuinely connect with others on an emotional level. Instead, they see people as tools to be used for their own gain. This is where the connection between narcissists and empaths becomes clear. Narcissists target empaths because of their deep emotional sensitivity and ability to care for others. Empaths' nurturing nature makes them perfect candidates for narcissists looking to manipulate and control someone to meet their needs. One of the key reasons narcissists are drawn to empaths is that they can easily manipulate and control their emotions. Narcissists are experts at playing on people's emotions, and they can quickly recognize when they encounter someone who is emotionally available and sensitive. Empaths tend to be highly attuned to the feelings of others, often going out of their way to make others feel understood and supported. Narcissists recognize this emotional availability and use it to their advantage. They know that empaths will likely give them the attention, validation, and empathy they crave. By using flattery, charm, and deceit, narcissists can quickly gain the trust of empaths and begin to manipulate their emotions. Narcissists also exploit the empathy of others by playing on their feelings of guilt and responsibility. Empaths often have a strong desire to help others, and narcissists know how to use this against them. They may create situations where the empath feels responsible for the narcissist's well-being or problems, even if those issues are fabricated or exaggerated. Narcissists will often paint themselves as victims, claiming to be misunderstood or mistreated by others, in order to elicit sympathy and emotional support from the empath. The empath, motivated by their deep desire to help, may feel compelled to fix the narcissist's problems or provide emotional support, even at the cost of their own well-being. Another way narcissists exploit empaths is by using gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation designed to make the empath doubt their own perceptions and feelings. Narcissists are skilled at distorting reality and making the empath feel as though they are overreacting or being too sensitive. For example, if an empath confronts the narcissist about their manipulative behavior or lack of empathy, the narcissist will often turn the situation around, making the empath feel guilty for bringing it up in the first place. Narcissists will frequently use phrases like, "You're just too emotional," or "You're imagining things," to make the empath question their own judgment. This manipulation leaves the empath feeling confused, anxious, and unsure of themselves, which gives the narcissist even more control over their emotions. Narcissists also know how to reinforce the empath's self-worth through intermittent validation. One of the most damaging tactics narcissists use to manipulate empaths is intermittent reinforcement. This is when the narcissist gives just enough validation or affection to keep the empath hooked, but not enough to satisfy their emotional needs. The narcissist may shower the empath with praise and affection during certain moments, only to withdraw that attention at other times. This creates a cycle of emotional highs and lows, where the empath feels elated when receiving validation, but devastated when the narcissist withdraws or behaves coldly. This emotional roller coaster keeps the empath emotionally invested in the relationship, constantly trying to earn the narcissist's approval and affection. The empath's strong desire to heal and nurture others also makes them vulnerable to narcissistic idealization. In the beginning stages of a relationship, narcissists will often idealize the empath, making them feel like they are the most important person in the narcissist's life. The narcissist may shower the empath with compliments, attention, and affection, making the empath feel special and valued. This idealization phase is a form of emotional manipulation, designed to draw the empath in and create an emotional attachment. Once the empath is fully invested in the relationship, the narcissist will begin to devalue them, often resorting to emotional abuse, manipulation, or neglect. This sudden shift can leave the empath feeling confused and betrayed, as they struggle to reconcile the idealized version of the narcissist with the reality of their toxic behavior. Narcissists know how to exploit the empath's need for connection. Empaths often have a strong desire to form deep, meaningful connections with others. They are typically more open and vulnerable in their relationships, seeking emotional intimacy and mutual understanding. Narcissists recognize this need for connection and will often present themselves as someone who understands the empath's emotional needs. They may claim to share similar values or experiences, creating a false sense of intimacy. The narcissist's false empathy allows them to manipulate the empath into believing they are in a genuine and loving relationship, when, in reality, the narcissist is simply using the empath to satisfy their own emotional and psychological needs. In summary, narcissists target empaths because they are emotionally available, compassionate, and highly sensitive to the feelings of others. Empaths' deep desire to help, heal, and connect makes them vulnerable to narcissistic manipulation. Narcissists exploit empaths' emotional sensitivity by using tactics such as gaslighting, intermittent validation, and emotional manipulation to control them and gain their trust. The empath's willingness to care for others and their need for connection make them easy targets for narcissists who seek to manipulate and control their emotions. Understanding how narcissists exploit empathy is crucial for empaths to recognize toxic relationships and protect themselves from emotional harm. As we transition into the next section, we will explore how narcissists maintain control over their victims through their need for power and dominance. We'll look at the tactics they use to keep people under their control and how recognizing these behaviors can help individuals break free from the narcissist's grasp. In the previous section, we explored how narcissists target empaths, individuals who are deeply attuned to the emotions of others and tend to give of themselves selflessly. Narcissists exploit these traits to manipulate and control their targets. However, there is another aspect of narcissistic behavior that often goes hand in hand with these manipulative tactics: the narcissist's insatiable need for control. Narcissists are not merely interested in validation or admiration, they seek power over others, a sense of dominance that reinforces their fragile self-esteem. Control is central to the narcissist's existence, as it allows them to feel secure, superior, and unchallenged. This need for control manifests in a variety of ways, particularly in the way they interact with others. Narcissists are constantly seeking ways to bolster their own sense of power and control. They do not view relationships as partnerships built on mutual respect and equality. Instead, they see people as tools to be used for their benefit. In a relationship with a narcissist, the dynamic is almost always one of imbalance, where the narcissist holds the power and the other person is expected to serve their needs. The narcissist's need for control often extends beyond the emotional manipulation we've already discussed. It also involves a calculated effort to undermine the other person's sense of autonomy, independence, and self-worth. By controlling those around them, narcissists can maintain their fragile self-image, always ensuring that they are the center of attention, the one with the power. One of the ways narcissists exert control is by manipulating the emotions of those around them. We've already discussed how narcissists prey on empaths, who are naturally empathetic and giving. Empaths are often highly sensitive to the emotions of others, and narcissists recognize this vulnerability as an opportunity for control. They may use guilt, fear, or confusion to make the empath feel responsible for the narcissist's emotional state. If the narcissist is upset or angry, they might make the empath feel like it's their fault, even if the empath has done nothing wrong. This manipulation of emotions keeps the empath on edge, always trying to appease the narcissist's fluctuating moods, which ultimately serves to give the narcissist more control over them. Narcissists also use guilt and shame as tools of control. They often make others feel guilty for setting boundaries or for refusing to meet the narcissist's demands. When someone refuses to cater to the narcissist's needs, the narcissist may retaliate by using shame or guilt as a weapon, making the person feel as though they are wrong or unloving for not sacrificing their own well-being for the narcissist. This is particularly effective because it plays on the empath's natural desire to help and please others. Over time, this cycle of guilt and shame wears down the individual's confidence and autonomy, making them more susceptible to the narcissist's control. Another way narcissists maintain control is by isolation. Narcissists often seek to isolate their targets from their support systems, friends, family, or anyone who might challenge the narcissist's authority. They do this by creating division and distrust between the victim and their loved ones, often planting seeds of doubt about the intentions of others. Narcissists will criticize or belittle the victim's friends and family, claiming that these people don't truly care about them or are out to harm them. This manipulation leads the victim to feel that they can only rely on the narcissist, reinforcing the narcissist's control over them. Isolation is a powerful tool because it makes the victim dependent on the narcissist for emotional support and validation, leaving them with fewer resources to challenge the narcissist's control. Furthermore, narcissists use intimidation and threats to maintain control. They may resort to overt or subtle forms of intimidation to instill fear in their targets. This could involve threatening to withdraw affection, making the victim feel unsafe, or even using physical intimidation in extreme cases. Fear is a potent tool for controlling others because it keeps the victim in a constant state of anxiety, always walking on eggshells and fearing the narcissist's wrath. This fear makes it harder for the victim to stand up for themselves or assert their own needs, as they are always preoccupied with keeping the narcissist happy and avoiding conflict. As we've seen, the narcissist's need for control is not just about power, it's about ensuring that they maintain the upper hand in every relationship they are a part of. They do not want to share power with others, they want to dominate. They want to feel superior, and to do that, they need to keep those around them feeling inferior. This can be seen in their relationships, where the narcissist is the one who makes the decisions, sets the rules, and dictates the terms. The victim, on the other hand, is left feeling confused, powerless, and dependent on the narcissist for validation and direction. Now you may be wondering, why do you become the target of such manipulation and control? What is it about you that makes you a prime candidate for a narcissist's dominance? The answer lies in the very qualities that narcissists find threatening, yet essential for maintaining their fragile sense of self. Narcissists are naturally attracted to individuals who possess inner strength, independence, or the potential to challenge their authority. These individuals may not even realize it, but their strength makes them a direct threat to the narcissist's need for superiority. Narcissists do not want anyone who can challenge their view of themselves as the center of attention. They do not want anyone who has the potential to see through their facade or stand up for themselves in a way that undermines the narcissist's sense of control. People with inner strength often stand out because they have a strong sense of self, know their boundaries, and have the courage to assert their needs. This makes them particularly appealing to narcissists, who thrive on breaking down those who challenge their dominance. Narcissists will often seek out individuals who they perceive as strong, but they will make it their mission to weaken that strength, turning it into something they can control. They will attack the victim's confidence, undermine their sense of self-worth, and attempt to manipulate them into questioning their own abilities and value. Another reason narcissists target individuals with inner strength is that these individuals often possess a sense of purpose or a mission in life. Narcissists are deeply envious of those who have clear goals or ambitions because it highlights their own lack of direction and purpose. A narcissist thrives on feeling like they are the most important person in the room. So when they encounter someone who is focused, driven, and independent, they may see that person as a challenge that must be overcome. In some cases, the narcissist may even try to align themselves with the target's mission, presenting themselves as a helpful partner or mentor. However, this is merely a tactic to gain control and insert themselves into the individual's life in a way that allows them to manipulate and steer the person's purpose toward fulfilling the narcissist's needs. People who show potential for independence are also prime targets for narcissists. Narcissists fear those who are self-sufficient, as it challenges their need for control. If someone is emotionally strong and independent, the narcissist cannot easily manipulate them. As a result, narcissists will often try to break down the target's independence, convincing them that they need the narcissist in their lives to achieve their goals or to feel complete. Narcissists will use guilt, shame, and emotional manipulation to make the individual feel as though they are not capable of achieving success without the narcissist's guidance and control. In conclusion, narcissists' need for control is at the heart of their toxic behavior. They seek to dominate their relationships, manipulate others, and maintain a sense of superiority. Narcissists target individuals who possess inner strength, independence, and potential because these qualities represent a threat to their need for power. By breaking down the victim's confidence and undermining their sense of self-worth, narcissists maintain control and keep the victim emotionally dependent on them. Understanding why you become a target for narcissistic manipulation is key to breaking free from their control and reclaiming your power. As we transition into the next section, we will examine the subtle and insidious ways narcissists maintain control through gaslighting and emotional manipulation. We will explore how these tactics distort reality, leaving victims confused and uncertain, and how recognizing these behaviors can help you regain control over your life. In the previous section, we explored the narcissist's insatiable need for control. Narcissists thrive on dominance and manipulation, often targeting individuals with inner strength, independence, or potential to challenge their authority. They employ various tactics to maintain power, and one of the most insidious methods they use is gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation designed to distort the victim's perception of reality. Gaslighting, along with emotional manipulation, allows narcissists to maintain control over their victims, making them question their own thoughts, memories, and feelings. This tactic not only reinforces the narcissist's authority, but also weakens the victim's sense of self, making them more reliant on the narcissist for validation and guidance. Gaslighting is a psychological technique in which a person manipulates another into doubting their own perceptions, memories, or reality. The term gaslighting originates from a 1938 play and subsequent film adaptations called Gaslight, in which a husband manipulates his wife into thinking she is losing her sanity by dimming the gaslights in their home and then denying that the lights have changed. Over time, the wife begins to doubt her own senses, which leaves her vulnerable to the husband's control. This manipulation of perception is the core of gaslighting, and narcissists are notorious for using it as a tool to gain dominance over their victims. Narcissists use gaslighting to manipulate and control others by creating an alternate version of reality, one that favors the narcissist's needs and desires. They distort facts, deny things they have said or done, and manipulate situations to confuse and disorient their targets. Over time, this causes the victim to second-guess their own experiences and lose confidence in their judgment. Gaslighting is an incredibly damaging form of emotional manipulation because it systematically erodes the victim's sense of reality and makes them increasingly dependent on the narcissist for guidance, validation, and emotional stability. One of the key ways narcissists use gaslighting is by denying their behavior and distorting the truth. For instance, when confronted about something they've said or done, a narcissist may outright deny it or offer a completely different version of events. They might tell the victim, "You're overreacting," or "That never happened," leaving the victim feeling confused and questioning whether they are remembering things incorrectly. This denial of facts forces the victim to rely on the narcissist's version of reality, which further reinforces the narcissist's control over them. The victim may start to doubt their own memory and perceptions, which makes them more dependent on the narcissist for clarity and truth. Narcissists may also engage in projection as part of their gaslighting tactics. Projection involves attributing their own negative traits, behaviors, or feelings onto someone else. For example, if a narcissist is being cruel or abusive, they might accuse the victim of being cruel or disrespectful instead. This forces the victim to accept blame for behaviors they never engaged in, further distorting their sense of reality and making them feel as though they are the problem. The narcissist may say things like, "You're the one who's always so negative," or "You're just too sensitive," even when the victim is simply reacting to the narcissist's behavior. This makes the victim feel like they are the one at fault, further eroding their self-esteem and sense of identity. Another common tactic that narcissists use in conjunction with gaslighting is deflection. When confronted with their actions or behavior, a narcissist will often deflect the conversation to something unrelated or focus the blame elsewhere. For example, if the victim brings up an issue with the narcissist's actions, the narcissist may turn the conversation into an attack on the victim, saying things like, "Why are you always bringing this up?" or "You're just looking for a reason to fight." This shifts the focus away from the narcissist's behavior and places the blame on the victim, making them feel guilty for expressing their concerns. The narcissist's ability to deflect attention from their actions and put the victim on the defensive only serves to confuse the victim further, leaving them unsure of what is really happening in the relationship. Narcissists also manipulate their victims' emotions by employing tactics designed to make them feel insecure and dependent on the narcissist. Narcissists feed on others' emotions, using them as a tool to control and manipulate. One way they do this is by alternating between idealization and devaluation. In the beginning stages of a relationship, the narcissist may shower the victim with praise, admiration, and affection, making them feel special and valued. This is the idealization phase, where the narcissist presents an image of themselves as charming, caring, and attentive. The victim, feeling validated and loved, becomes emotionally invested in the relationship. However, once the narcissist has gained the victim's trust and emotional attachment, they will shift into the devaluation phase. In this phase, the narcissist begins to criticize, belittle, and ignore the victim. They may suddenly withdraw affection or become dismissive, leaving the victim feeling confused and insecure. The narcissist may even start to belittle the victim's achievements or question their worth. This sudden shift from idealization to devaluation causes the victim to constantly try to win back the narcissist's approval, reinforcing the narcissist's control over them. The victim is left feeling emotionally drained, uncertain, and dependent on the narcissist's validation. Examples of gaslighting in real-life situations. Gaslighting can take many forms in day-to-day interactions, and narcissists often use it to manipulate others into doubting their reality. One common example of gaslighting occurs in relationships where the narcissist denies something they said or did, despite clear evidence to the contrary. For instance, imagine a situation where a narcissistic partner repeatedly cancels plans at the last minute without a valid reason. When confronted about this behavior, the narcissist may deny ever cancelling plans or claim, "You know I never agreed to that," even though the victim clearly remembers making plans. This causes the victim to question their memory and wonder if they are being overly sensitive or imagining things. Another example of gaslighting is when a narcissist uses emotional manipulation to make the victim feel responsible for their own negative behavior. A narcissist may say, "You always make me upset," or "I wouldn't act this way if you didn't provoke me," shifting the blame onto the victim. This forces the victim to question their own actions and emotions, making them feel guilty for something that was not their fault in the first place. Gaslighting can also occur in family dynamics, where the narcissist uses their power and influence to make family members doubt their own perceptions. A narcissistic parent, for example, may deny their abusive behavior and accuse the child of being too sensitive or overreacting when the child brings up their mistreatment. Over time, this makes the child question their own experiences and feelings, believing that they are the problem rather than the narcissistic parent. In the workplace, narcissistic bosses or colleagues may use gaslighting to undermine others' contributions and achievements. They might take credit for someone else's work, then deny it when confronted, saying, "That's not how it happened," or "I never said that." This leaves the victim feeling helpless and unsure of their own accomplishments, causing them to become increasingly dependent on the narcissist for approval and validation. In summary, gaslighting and emotional manipulation are powerful tools that narcissists use to distort reality, undermine their victims' self-confidence, and maintain control over them. Narcissists manipulate emotions by making others feel insecure, guilty, and dependent on them for validation. They use gaslighting to create confusion, deny their own actions, and project blame onto the victim. This ongoing manipulation leaves the victim questioning their reality and seeking reassurance from the narcissist. Recognizing these tactics is the first step in breaking free from the narcissist's grip and reclaiming control over your own emotions and sense of self. As we move into the next section, we will explore how narcissists maintain their influence over their victims by isolating them from their support systems. We'll discuss how narcissists use isolation to deepen their control and make it harder for the victim to break free from the relationship. In the previous section, we explored the toxic tactics of gaslighting and emotional manipulation that narcissists use to maintain control over their victims. These strategies make it incredibly difficult for victims to see the truth of their situation and often leave them doubting their own perceptions. As these manipulative behaviors wear down the victim's sense of reality and self-worth, it becomes crucial to learn how to recognize when you are being targeted by a narcissist. Narcissists do not reveal their true intentions up front. Their behavior can be subtle, creeping into your life in ways that make you feel confused, controlled, or emotionally drained. Recognizing the signs of manipulation is key to breaking free from their grasp. Signs you are being targeted. The first sign that you might be the target of a narcissist is a growing sense of being controlled. Narcissists thrive on power, and they will do everything in their power to dominate those around them. If you start to notice that you are always adjusting your behavior, opinions, or decisions to keep the narcissist happy, it may be a sign that they are trying to control you. The control can be subtle at first, with the narcissist making suggestions or requests that seem harmless. Over time, however, these requests turn into demands, and your own desires and preferences are pushed aside to accommodate the narcissist's needs. Another common sign of being targeted by a narcissist is the feeling of being manipulated. Narcissists are experts at controlling the emotions of others. They know how to push your buttons, make you feel guilty, or manipulate your sense of self-worth. You may find yourself constantly questioning your actions or emotions, feeling as though you are always walking on eggshells to avoid triggering their anger or disappointment. The narcissist might make you feel responsible for their moods or needs, constantly playing the victim or accusing you of being insensitive or selfish. This makes you feel obligated to meet their emotional demands, even at the expense of your own well-being. In addition to emotional manipulation, you may also feel emotionally hurt by the narcissist's behavior. Narcissists are known for their lack of empathy, and they will often disregard your feelings and needs. They might belittle you, criticize you, or use your vulnerabilities against you. If you find yourself constantly feeling emotionally drained, upset, or even physically exhausted after interactions with someone, it could be a sign that you are dealing with a narcissist. They thrive on exploiting your emotions, leaving you feeling empty and unsure of yourself. Recognizing these signs early on can help you protect yourself from further manipulation. If you notice that the relationship with a particular person is marked by these feelings of control, manipulation, and emotional pain, it's time to take a step back and evaluate the situation. Recognizing their behavior and tactics. Narcissists are often skilled at disguising their true nature, making it difficult to identify their manipulative tactics at first. They may start by presenting themselves as charming, caring, or supportive, especially in the beginning stages of a relationship. They may use idealization, showering you with attention, praise, and affection, making you feel special and valued. During this phase, they may seem to understand your needs and desires better than anyone else, giving you the illusion of a deep connection. They may even express admiration for your talents or qualities, feeding your ego and making you feel important. However, as the relationship progresses, the narcissist will begin to shift their behavior. Once they have secured your trust and emotional investment, they will start to show their true colors. They will use devaluation, where they shift from idealizing you to criticizing, belittling, or ignoring you. The praise and affection will dwindle, replaced by subtle jabs, put-downs, or cold indifference. This sudden shift can leave you confused and questioning the relationship, but the narcissist will often use gaslighting to deny their behavior and make you doubt your perception of the situation. They may tell you things like, "You're overreacting," or "That never happened," leaving you second-guessing your own memories and emotions. Another common tactic used by narcissists is playing the victim. Narcissists are masters at deflecting blame and making themselves appear as the innocent party in any conflict. If you confront them about their behavior, they may turn the conversation around and accuse you of being the problem. They will use phrases like, "I only acted that way because of what you did," or You're the one who's always causing trouble. This deflection of blame makes it harder for you to hold the narcissist accountable for their actions, and it shifts the focus onto you. As a result, you may end up feeling guilty for things you didn't do, further solidifying the narcissist's control over you. Narcissists also use isolation as a tactic to weaken your support network. They may subtly undermine your relationships with friends and family, either by bad-mouthing them or creating conflict between you and the people you care about. They might accuse your loved ones of being unsupportive or untrustworthy, making you feel like you can only rely on them. This isolation tactic is designed to make you more dependent on the narcissist and less likely to seek advice or support from others. Over time, you may find yourself becoming increasingly isolated, which makes it harder to recognize the narcissist's manipulation and control. One of the most telling signs of a narcissist's behavior is their constant need for admiration and validation. Narcissists are driven by an insatiable desire to be the center of attention and to receive constant praise and adoration. If you notice that the narcissist consistently demands validation, compliments, or attention, even for minor accomplishments, this is a clear sign that they are using you to feed their ego. They may expect you to always praise them or acknowledge their achievements, and if you fail to do so, they will become upset or withdraw affection. This behavior is a tactic used to maintain their sense of superiority and control, as they seek to ensure that everyone around them is focused on their needs and desires. Another tactic that narcissists use to manipulate others is intermittent reinforcement. In the beginning, the narcissist may shower you with affection and attention, making you feel special and loved. However, as time goes on, this affection becomes less frequent, and the narcissist becomes more emotionally distant. This creates a cycle of highs and lows, where you experience periods of intense admiration and affection, followed by periods of coldness and neglect. The inconsistent nature of their behavior keeps you emotionally hooked, as you continue to chase the validation and love that was once freely given. This tactic is designed to keep you off balance, always wondering when the next round of affection will come, and leaving you dependent on the narcissist for emotional fulfillment. Narcissists also frequently engage in exploitation, using others to further their own agenda without regard for the other person's needs or well-being. They may take credit for your work, use you for financial gain, or manipulate you into doing things that benefit them, while offering little in return. If you feel like you are constantly giving without receiving anything in return, or if the narcissist always expects you to prioritize their needs over your own, it's a clear sign that you are being exploited. How to break free. Recognizing when you are being targeted by a narcissist is the first step toward breaking free from their control. If you identify any of these signs in your relationships, it's important to set firm boundaries and take steps to protect yourself emotionally and psychologically. The narcissist's goal is to make you feel dependent on them, but by recognizing their behavior and tactics, you can start to reclaim your autonomy and sense of self. One of the most important things you can do is to trust your instincts. If something feels off, or you feel manipulated or controlled, take a step back and assess the situation. Narcissists are experts at making you doubt your perceptions, but your intuition is a powerful tool. Pay attention to how the relationship makes you feel. If you're consistently feeling drained, insecure, or emotionally hurt, it's a sign that something is wrong. It's important to acknowledge your emotions and trust your ability to recognize when you are being mistreated. Another crucial step in breaking free is to set boundaries. Narcissists will push your limits and test your boundaries in order to gain control over you. By setting clear and firm boundaries, you can protect yourself from their manipulation. This might involve limiting contact with the narcissist, asserting your needs, or seeking support from trusted friends and family. It may also involve seeking professional help to work through the emotional damage caused by the narcissist's manipulation. In summary, recognizing when you are being targeted by a narcissist is key to protecting yourself from their emotional manipulation and control. By identifying the signs of control, manipulation, and emotional harm, you can take steps to reclaim your sense of self and break free from the narcissist's grip. Trusting your instincts, setting boundaries, and seeking support are all important strategies in regaining control over your life and protecting your emotional well-being. In the previous section, we explored how to recognize when you're being targeted by a narcissist. We discussed the telltale signs of narcissistic manipulation, such as emotional harm, control, gaslighting, and the constant demand for validation. Understanding these tactics is crucial to defending yourself against narcissists, but the real challenge lies in protecting yourself once you recognize the signs. Narcissists are skilled at weaving their webs of manipulation, and the damage they inflict can be profound if left unchecked. However, you do not have to remain trapped in their cycle of control. There are practical and emotional steps you can take to protect yourself from their harmful influence. In this section, we will discuss the importance of setting personal boundaries, learning to say no, and seeking support to help you regain your emotional autonomy and stop narcissistic manipulation in its tracks. As we move from the previous discussion on recognizing narcissistic behaviors, we now focus on the critical actions you can take to regain control over your life and protect your well-being. Understanding the tactics narcissists use is the first step, but how you choose to respond is what will ultimately determine your ability to break free from their grasp. Protecting yourself requires a mix of mental, emotional, and physical strategies to ensure that you do not fall into the narcissist's trap and that you are able to reclaim your power. Setting personal boundaries. The first and most important step in protecting yourself from a narcissist is setting personal boundaries. Boundaries are the invisible lines that protect your emotional, mental, and physical space. They define what is acceptable behavior from others and what you will not tolerate. In relationships with narcissists, boundaries are critical because narcissists often see other people as extensions of themselves or tools to be used for their benefit. They will constantly push your boundaries to see how much they can get away with, often testing them in subtle ways until you begin to feel as though your personal needs and desires no longer matter. Setting and maintaining strong boundaries will help you preserve your sense of self and prevent the narcissist from taking control of your life. Start by identifying what your personal boundaries are. This means understanding your own needs, values, and limitations. Ask yourself questions like, what am I willing to tolerate in a relationship? Or, what behaviors do I find unacceptable? For example, if a narcissist constantly interrupts you or dismisses your opinions, this is a violation of your boundaries. Once you recognize the behaviors that cross the line, it is important to assert your boundaries clearly. This may involve saying things like, I do not tolerate being yelled at, or I need to have time for myself, or even, I'm not comfortable with this behavior and I expect it to stop. Narcissists may try to dismiss your boundaries, belittle them, or push back, but it's crucial to stand firm and consistently enforce them. Remember, boundaries are not meant to be a form of control over others. They are a way for you to protect your emotional and mental health. Setting boundaries also means recognizing when the narcissist is trying to violate them. For example, a narcissist may try to manipulate you into giving more than you are comfortable with, emotionally or physically. They may attempt to guilt trip you or use their usual tactics of manipulation, such as promising affection or making empty promises to get you to comply with their wishes. When this happens, it's essential to stick to your boundaries and not give in to their pressure. Narcissists will often test your limits repeatedly, and it is up to you to remain consistent in your responses. Learning to say no. One of the most powerful tools you can use to protect yourself from a narcissist is learning how to say no. Narcissists often manipulate others into doing what they want by playing on their empathy, guilt, or desire to please. They will frequently ask for favors, demand your time and energy, or expect you to prioritize their needs over your own. Saying no can be difficult, especially if you're used to people-pleasing or if the narcissist has made you feel responsible for their happiness. However, it is essential to understand that you have every right to say no, and that refusal is not an act of selfishness. It is a necessary way to protect your own well-being. Learning to say no starts with understanding that you do not owe anyone an explanation for taking care of yourself. Narcissists are often very skilled at making you feel guilty for not giving in to their demands. They may accuse you of being selfish, uncaring, or ungrateful, but these are just tactics to manipulate you into doing what they want. It is important to recognize that their feelings are not your responsibility, and that you have every right to decline requests that don't serve your best interests or that make you uncomfortable. Saying no is not about being rude or disrespectful. It's about setting healthy boundaries that protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. When practicing saying no, it is important to do so confidently and without apology. Narcissists will often try to make you feel as though your refusal is an offense, but it's vital to remember that your right to self-care and personal space comes first. You do not need to justify your reasons for saying no, and you certainly don't need to feel guilty about protecting yourself. Saying no can be empowering, as it is an assertion of your autonomy and a declaration that you will not allow anyone, especially a narcissist, to control your actions and decisions. In some cases, narcissists may try to punish you for saying no. They may withhold affection, become passive-aggressive, or escalate their demands to test your resolve. It is essential to recognize these as manipulation tactics and to stand firm in your boundaries. If the narcissist's behavior becomes overtly abusive or emotionally harmful, it may be necessary to cut contact or distance yourself from the relationship entirely. Saying no is about prioritizing your needs and ensuring that you do not allow the narcissist to drain your energy, time, or emotional resources. Seeking support. One of the most important steps in protecting yourself from narcissistic abuse is to seek support from others. Narcissists work to isolate their targets, making it harder for you to see their manipulative behaviors and giving them more control over your life. Seeking support from trusted friends, family members, or professionals is crucial for regaining perspective, rebuilding your self-esteem, and taking back control of your life. Having a support network can help you navigate the challenges of dealing with a narcissist and offer validation and encouragement as you set boundaries and stand up for yourself. Start by reaching out to people who you trust and who have your best interests at heart. Talk openly with them about your experiences and how you are feeling. It can be helpful to gain an outside perspective, as narcissists are often skilled at distorting reality, and it may be hard for you to see the full extent of their manipulation. Trusted friends and family can help you stay grounded and remind you of your worth when the narcissist tries to tear you down. In addition to relying on loved ones, seeking professional help can be incredibly beneficial when dealing with narcissistic abuse. Therapists, counselors, or support groups that specialize in narcissistic relationships can offer guidance and strategies for healing from the emotional damage caused by narcissists. A therapist can help you rebuild your self-esteem, develop healthy coping mechanisms, and gain clarity about how to navigate the relationship with the narcissist, especially if you are unable or unwilling to completely cut ties. Therapy can also provide a safe space to process your emotions and help you learn how to protect yourself from further harm. In some cases, you may need to seek legal support if the narcissist's behavior escalates to harassment, abuse, or threats. It's important to know that you have the right to protect yourself from harm, both physically and emotionally, and that there are resources available to help you in such situations. Protecting yourself from a narcissist is a challenging but necessary journey. It requires learning how to set personal boundaries, learning to say no, and seeking support from those who can help you regain your strength and perspective. Narcissists thrive on control, manipulation, and isolation, but by taking these protective steps, you can regain your emotional autonomy and prevent them from continuing their harmful behavior. Setting boundaries, asserting your needs, and surrounding yourself with a strong support system are powerful tools in breaking free from the narcissist's grip and reclaiming control over your life. Remember, you have the right to live free from manipulation and emotional harm, and by protecting yourself, you take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered future. To wrap up, we've explored the complex reasons why narcissists target certain individuals, particularly those who feel like the chosen one, or those who have a strong sense of purpose and mission in life. We've seen how narcissists exploit these feelings of specialness, using them to manipulate and control their victims. Narcissists are drawn to people who possess inner strength, empathy, or a unique sense of purpose, because these qualities make them vulnerable to being manipulated. Through tactics like gaslighting, emotional manipulation, and playing the victim, narcissists work to break down their targets, making them feel insecure, dependent, and questioning their own reality. However, it's essential to recognize these toxic patterns and take steps to protect yourself from falling into these destructive relationships. Understanding the narcissist's behavior is the first step toward reclaiming your power and emotional well-being. Setting boundaries, learning to say no, and seeking support from trusted friends, family, or professionals are crucial actions that can help you regain control over your life and ensure that you don't fall prey to the narcissist's manipulation. It's important to remember that your emotional health, your sense of self, and your independence are worth protecting. By taking these steps, you can break free from the cycle of narcissistic abuse and build stronger, healthier relationships moving forward. If you found this video helpful and want to continue learning how to protect yourself from narcissists and other toxic relationships, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We regularly share valuable content aimed at helping you understand the dynamics of manipulative relationships and providing strategies for emotional well-being. By subscribing, you'll have access to more insights and tools to protect yourself and live a more fulfilling, empowered life. Remember, the more we learn about these behaviors, the better we can recognize and protect ourselves from them. Narcissists rely on confusion, emotional manipulation, and isolation to control their targets, but by staying informed and confident, you can regain control of your life and protect yourself from these toxic influences. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep receiving more helpful videos from us. Thank you for watching, and take care of yourself. We look forward to bringing you more empowering content in the future.